Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Today we are traveling to the vast, windswept heart of Central Asia to decode a mystery written in stone. If you were to stand on the Saryarka steppe in central Kazakhstan, the first thing you would notice is the wind. It does not just blow, it scours the earth. It rushes across endless, golden plains, whispering through the feather grass. It is a force that usually erodes the memory of empires. But amidst this emptiness, defying that erasing wind, lie peculiar formations of stone that have puzzled travelers and shepherds for centuries. From the ground, if you were walking past one, they might appear as mere piles of rubble, chaotic and formless, but seen from above, or perhaps through the eyes of the ancient astronomers who built them, they reveal a stunning geometry. You see a central mound flanked by two long, elegant arcs of stone curving eastward. They look like the whiskers of a great beast or the wings of a soaring bird. These are the Moustached Kurgans. They are the stone solar calendars of the steppe. For decades, modern observers dismissed them as mere curiosities of the ancient nomadic world. Today, however, archaeology is revealing them to be one of the most sophisticated archaeoastronomical instruments of the ancient world. They are a monumental testament to a people who navigated the sea of grass by reading the map of the stars. To understand a moustached kurgan, we first have to discard the image of a simple grave. While they are indeed burial sites, their architecture suggests a function far more complex than a mere container for the dead. The classic complex is primarily associated with the Tasmola culture of the early Iron Age, specifically spanning the 8th to the 5th centuries BC. The architects of this culture followed a strict and fascinating blueprint. It begins with a primary burial mound, or kurgan, often built of stone and earth. To its immediate east, there is frequently a smaller satellite mound. But the defining feature, the reason they are called moustached, extends from this eastern side. Two distinct ridges of stone, sometimes paved and curbed with larger slabs, curve outward and eastward from the central mounds. These are not small features. These ridges can range from a modest 20 meters to a staggering 200 meters in length. At their eastern terminals, they often end in small circular stone constructions or discs. When viewed from the air, the shape is unmistakable. Some see a mustache, others see a heart shape, a pair of horns, or a bird in flight. But for the Tasmola architects, this shape was not merely aesthetic. It was a machine made of rock. We have to consider the environment to understand the machine. The Saryarka region is a land of extremes. Winters are brutal and freezing, while summers are scorching. For the nomadic pastoralists of the Tasmola culture, survival depended entirely on timing. Moving herds to the wrong pasture too early could mean starvation in a late frost. Moving too late could mean withered grass and drought. They needed a clock that never failed, so they built one into the earth itself. Archaeologists and astronomers have spent years measuring the alignments of these stone ridges, and the results are undeniable. In many of the examined complexes, the moustaches function as a solar observatory. Imagine standing at the western edge of the complex, usually atop the primary burial mound, and looking down the length of the curved stone ridges. You are looking at a calendar. One ridge often aligns perfectly with the point on the horizon where the sun rises on the shortest day of the year, the winter solstice. The opposing ridge points to the sunrise on the longest day of the year, the summer solstice. And the central axis between the two ridges often marks the sunrise on the days when night and day are equal, the equinoxes, which are the crucial turning points of spring and autumn. This was not primitive guesswork, it was precision engineering. By marking these specific solar events, the Tasmola chieftains could predict the changing of the seasons with absolute certainty, signaling the time for the great seasonal migrations that kept their society alive. So who were the architects of these stone computers? The Tasmola culture was a distinct branch of the broader Saka world. You might know them better as the Scythians, the fearsome, gold-adorned horse lords who dominated the Eurasian steppe for centuries. Excavations at sites like Toldi and Karashoki have peeled back the layers of history to reveal a society of immense wealth and artistry. These were not destitute wanderers. The Kurgans often contain elite burials involving warriors laid to rest with iron daggers and bronze arrowheads, and nobles adorned in gold. The animal-style art found in these tombs is breathtaking. Gold plaques depict crouched stags with exaggerated antlers, coiled snow leopards, and griffins. It shows predators and prey locked in an eternal, golden dance. This art reflects their reality, a world of motion, violence, and natural beauty. Interestingly, many moustached kurgans are cenotaphs, which means they are empty tombs. They contain pottery, evidence of ritual fires, and horse skeletons sacrificed to carry the master to the afterlife, but no human body. This suggests that the moustached complex was perhaps a shrine to a fallen hero whose body was lost in a distant war, or a purely ritualistic site dedicated to the sun god, where the burial was symbolic. It was a temple rather than a tomb. The story of the Moustached Kurgans has recently become even more intriguing. For a long time, it was believed that this tradition died out with the Saka tribes before the Common Era. However, discoveries in the Ulutau region in 2024 have thrown a wrench into the timeline. Archaeologists uncovered Moustached Kurgans dating not to the Iron Age, but to the medieval period, specifically the 6th to 15th centuries AD. These later constructions, built by Turkic nomads or their successors before the Mongol conquest, show a fascinating evolution of the form. Some of these medieval mounds feature ridges that cross the mound in an X pattern, differing from the classic eastern arcs of the Tasmola. This discovery implies a profound cultural continuity. It suggests that the nomads of the Middle Ages, though separated from the Tasmola builders by 1,000 years, still looked at the landscape with the same eyes. They respected the old monuments, perhaps reusing them or mimicking their sacred architecture to claim legitimacy and connection to the ancestors of the land. The mustache was not just a tool, it had become a symbol of power and memory that transcended time. Today, over 400 of these stone complexes have been documented across central Kazakhstan. They stand silent, their ridges often sunken into the turf, visible only as subtle undulations in the grass. They remind us that the empty steppe was never truly empty. It was a landscape alive with meaning, mapped by the stars and anchored by stone. The Moustached Kurgans were the cathedrals and the universities of the nomad. They were places where the sky touched the earth, where the sun was tamed, and where the people of the wind anchored themselves in the flow of eternity. When you look at a Moustached Kurgan, you are not just looking at a grave. You are looking through the viewfinder of an ancient camera, focused on the horizon, waiting for a sunrise that has been greeted with reverence for 3,000 years. Thank you for listening to G Fun Facts Online.